So, just again above table, but did your character know about the our previous encounters with the syndicate?
Nope.
No.
No,
So right now she's in the sort of.
that was actually brought up with me.
I don't think she knows the details. I think she just knows that you encountered them in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we can get things started right now. I'm just getting a couple more things finished. Character sheet. Okay, so welcome back, everyone, to session 23. How's it going?
I'm giving 2 thumbs up.
The drama is happening.
Yeah, the drama. Unfortunately, Anthony has come down with a cold and will not be joining us tonight. But we are going to hopefully move on without any complications with that. So, with that said, where did we leave off last session?
Last time we left off with a peaceful discussion between peers where no one got hurt and everyone's still here and happy.
As we start our session off in the okay, pretty detailed description. You were about 50% right.
I don't think even that. I think I got.
I don't even think that.
I got a 0.
So we last left off with the I think I had only remembered that the ending of the session that I completely forgot. That was also just the session you guys actually talked with Charybdis. I just completely forgot about that. I thought those were 2 separate sessions. But yeah, the last we left off, the initial fight with Charybdis had just concluded, and Lokir had attempted to commune with this creature and did so successfully. And after several questions going about, it turns out Charybdis has no recollection of its origins, which seem to be somewhat related to the mind flayers of Silva. As everybody recollects in Domus's hut, Macaria is there. And she provides a potential theory that Charybdis is a phylactery, a sentient phylactery that has been taken on taken on sentience and could potentially be the phylactery of Pluto. But eventually the conversation got a little bit heated. Macaria, you all unveiled to Macaria the hive mind, which she didn't know about. And the conversation came to a large escalation in discussion of Viserys's former soldiers that had unfortunately met a tragic fate when they had decided they did not want to participate in the antics of the Asphodel Syndicate and simply wanted to leave, which resulted in their death by the hands of the Syndicate. Macaria didn't seem to really care so much, and this caused a conflict on the ship, which eventually ended with Macaria fleeing alongside Morgan. And that is exactly where we're going to pick up right from there. But we're not going to pick up with Domus. We are going to pick up in the underworld. As it's not the underworld. It is a layer of. It is the layer of the Syndicate called the underworld. As we start with Morgan, having not contributed to really either side, if anything, to just stop Viserys from trying to fight Macaria. Macaria had fled the scene but not before grasping at your hand and teleporting you both into the underworld, which is where we find Morgan now. Let me move everybody here. As Morgan, you find you and Macaria teleport to a somewhat familiar abode. The main kind of lair and location of the Asphodel Syndicate. Now very barren compared to what you had previously seen. You are familiar that this used to be very heavily populated with the Asphodel Syndicate, which mostly comprised of several different shades and shadows of their soldiers, alongside a vast array of different individuals that were either working alongside the Ilios, that were either spying on the Ilios or the Aenis. But now it is very empty. There doesn't seem to be a lot of things except for Cerberus and Mormo. Mormo being this kind of banshee, this dark shrouded banshee, and Cerberus being this giant three-headed hellhound that his glow with his red, almost looking like torn flesh, but you know that's just his aesthetic, and these teal green eyes. But he honestly looks he looks wounded, as if he had been in a fight before, and you can probably guess that Cerberus had contributed to the fight with Scylla. But you teleport in with Macaria, and Macaria just looks like she is she kind of like looks a little exasperated, but also a little bit of anger as she says, "Fuck! Okay. Alright, so we are not talking with those people ever again. We gotta figure something else out."
What bad did he get you?
Nothing. It's fine. It was just. It's a small graze. I'm quite prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that, but I'm prepared for an attack.
I mean, I knew that Viserys was upset with the Syndicate at some point, but I did not realize he was that upset.
It was 10. Yes, we had. When we had first met them, they were under the platoon of. They were commanding a bunch of the soldiers that you had seen before, but they had another. They had another ship, and that ship had decided to not work alongside the Syndicate, and so we didn't want to jeopardize this entire operation. Little did we know we already did that, but not the point. So they tried to leave the island of Polyphemus, and and Pluto decided to sick Thanatos on them, and they sank. But it's
Oh, I understand where you're coming from. I do. It's a shit call, but it has to be made.
So I can't even. I don't even want to know if they're done or not. I'm done with trying to understand, because I can't even think about any other possibilities of anything other than just And now the tieflings have a hive mind, are part of the hive mind, and they've been a part of the hive mind, and have seen everything, and that's probably why he's dead now. Fuck.
Just when you think things can't get any worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what's left. I'm debating whether or not to even, like, consider going back, just for the purposes of the fact that we just literally don't have anyone. Everyone, half of our fucking guys are dead. And everybody else is probably in heavy danger because they probably are, because, I mean, the tieflings saw Azcal and Alephis. They're still in Silva right now, but that's probably why they're in Silva, because they were sent to hell because they're spies.
Just shit upon more shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what to do. I can't. We can't wait on Pluto. If that even is his phylactery, we can't wait on him.
If anybody goes back, send me. Like, we can't afford to lose you. I'm just a grunt at the end of the
No,
day.
you're not just a grunt. If anything, you have become probably, at this point, let me just... She, like, sarcastically looks around the cave and just points at Cerberus and Mormo and just like... At this point, you're probably 25% of the Syndicate? I mean, you still have we still have the people in Aenis, but I don't even know if they're okay. I have to go check on them. What else? I don't even know. I don't know.
I mean, for the Aenis team, we could ping their sending stones just to see if they're alive in the first place.
Yeah, I will definitely see if the Aenis are. But at the moment, as much as I fucking hate it, our best option is your fucking idiots back on that ship. Because they've got the Nahuatl. They're going to Rosmoan. If they still even are at that point. Because I don't even know if they still want to work with us.
I mean, like I say, I'm going to try and de-escalate the situation, but... Well, as Viserys just said, I'm also a representative of everything he seemingly hates.
That's fucking bullshit. But alright.
Yeah, I don't know where he got take over the world from us.
I don't know. He expects us to be the natural good guys. And I wish I could say there are good guys in this fucking battle, in this conflict that we're having. But in the moment, nobody is good. There is no good in this world. And I can't fathom expecting that. Like a fucking paladin. He doesn't do any, like, divine smite, right? He's not a paladin?
No, apparently he's just a fighter, but then I
He
saw him
certainly
doing
acts like
magic.
it. He certainly acts like it.
Yeah, he does have strong morals. He means well. I don't know. I'll try and get through to him.
Are you sure you want to go back, at least now? Cause we just finished up like
Maybe
2 minutes ago.
maybe we should give him an hour or two to cool off.
Okay.
In the meantime, what can I do to help here?
At the moment, I don't really know. I don't even know. Cause I don't think you have. I don't know if you have accessibility to your contacts in A&Es, so that would have to be me or Mormo. But so for now, I just say take a rest and just come back to me when you are ready to go back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Try and get some rest too.
I will. I just need to contact these. I just need to figure out what we're doing, really. And she is going to walk off to a random hallway, which you could probably assume has something in it. We will move from there as we find the rest of the group in atop of Domus, as you all had just watched as Morgan and Makaria had just fled the scene.
Ooh.
All right. So, that's out of the way. Does anybody have any thoughts on how to proceed from here?
I have a thought that you're reckless. Yes, what they did is unforgivable, and you have every right to be mad. Until you or they die. But it's so reckless, there are so few allies we have, and you're out trying to kill one?
I mean, you could have waited until we killed the fucking council, you know? The enemy of my enemy dies second and all that. But that's kinda late now, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I could not see where it stopped. I couldn't see where the killing stopped. I couldn't see a way forward with the syndicate, because if the council was disassembled by the syndicate, if we took them down, and the people of Ilias rejected the syndicate, what's to stop them from killing everyone in the Ilias? Or the A&Es, or the entire world of Cerdonia?
If we take Ilias, it doesn't matter if they accept the syndicate. If we take Ilias, there's no one for them to tell. That's why they did what they did. They didn't do it just to be cruel. They did it to protect themselves. And while yes, they're a lesser of two evils, they are still an evil. Let's focus on the bigger evil right now. If you still feel that they are such a great threat, once we have, assuming we even can deal with the larger threat, then we can talk about that.
What's to stop them from considering, I mean, we are, like, now, a threat?
If they come for us, they come for us, and we don't have a choice. But I think they're not going to, because they know that the bigger priority is the actual threat.
Also, we do kind of have an army of golems on our side. So
That helps a lot. Yeah.
I don't think they have the numbers to actually take us on right now.
I mean, they might try it if and when Hades comes back. But I mean, it's just not worth their time. They have bigger priorities.
Fuck then, you know.
I mean, still, it's not a priority. Yes, we are not on good terms, but we just aren't the priority. We're not going to literally destroy the world.
Yeah.
Let's worry about reducing our number of enemies before we go making more Viserys.
I cannot abide killing of innocent people. I am protector of my people. That includes all of you, includes every man on all of these ships, and all of the people of Cerdonia.
How protected are your people going to be when Eris breaks free and claims every soul not under her tutelage? How are you going to protect them, Viserys?
With my dying breath, that's all I have. That's all I can do.
That's not enough.
I cannot trust in someone that will, at the drop of a hat,
Look,
decide, oh, that's a threat, I'm going to eliminate it. They gave them no choices. It was join or die.
And it was a terrible thing they did.
I wasn't given a choice. All of the men I had before weren't given a choice.
Viserys, you have one choice right now. One choice. Do you work with these people you hate and stand maybe even the slightest chance of everyone you love living to see tomorrow and tomorrow? Or do you turn your back? Do you stand on your morals here and watch everyone you've ever loved die? That's your choice. That's the one you get to make.
Alright.
I mean, the unfortunate reality, whether we like it or not, is that we're pawns. And pawns aren't given choices. But, you play your role as a pawn well enough, you get close to the person that's controlling you, and then you kill them. But, you have to do that after we've saved the world from ourselves, technically.
I mean, I don't think there was anything we could have done at that point. Any agency we had in that moment was not real.
I mean, in hindsight, sure, but, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, hindsight is the real thing.
I suppose. Anyway, we should probably get going. It's not like we have a lot of time to waste.
You're right. Well, I don't see an alternative to the plan we already set in motion. To down a few members as we are.
I mean, the only alternative is to go and find the last vestige and hope that does something to the Amphibian Council, you know? Maybe it gets them to actually move their asses and help.
Yeah. Viserys, did you do a head count? Are we down anybody?
We are no, we're good. Everybody we left with Cirilla, that's we have everyone. No, we're good. Moving on to another matter. I don't know how I haven't brought this up, but you pointing at Arya and Alcamero. You are connected to the hive mind, yeah?
At times, we can tap
At
into it
times.
ourselves.
And you are broadcasting to the council at all times, yes?
No,
No.
they
On
can
that
tap.
note, let us check real quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
cast magic circle.
No, we have this. This will keep them out of us, and as well, they don't immediately return either. If we, yes, they can catch us off guard and get weaks, but this way we can talk freely.
Okay.
If I,
Magic circle being cast, does he actually feel like the thing close, you know?
say again.
Like when I cast the magic circle, we can tell if it was open before I casted it, no? Like if they
Yeah.
were actually.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a feel. It's not really a feeling of it. It's like a feeling of just something innately, like something that's always just been like a part of yourselves, just pulling away.
Okay. And he doesn't feel that, right? So. As in, it wasn't open now.
You could probably know. The twins can probably tell. If they're able to feel it being disconnected, they're able to feel when it's back. So you do in fact feel, you don't feel that it's disconnected.
That's true. Well, regardless, I think our plan's unchanged at the moment.
All right.
I don't think you guys know what a hive mind means. I mean, hive mind as in like their collective conscience and their memories are all.
So there's no
Linked
recourse. Why
together.
are we even hiding anything?
It's not just a live feed. It is like everything that you are aware of. Yes.
So I just have to sit out everything. Okay.
Yeah. I think, and I hate to say this, is there any way to sever the connection?
Oh, I wish.
They can't see you, you can't see them.
I'd take that trade in a heartbeat, but I don't think we have the means. I mean, it appears many demons aren't even aware this is a thing, much less something they can do anything about. Don't suppose I can make an Arcana check about that?
You. I'm gonna have to say no check just because
There's
there
no
has just
baseline.
been 0 recorded instances of any sort of purification process like that.
I haven't asked my book anything in a while. Can I
Okay.
ask my book if there's if the Reverend Queen knows of the hive mind and if there is any way to sever it?
Okay. Hmm. You just write that as a question in your book?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a smiley face as well at the end. Why not?
All right. So, first off the bat, you ask if she knows about the hive mind, and as you finished writing in that question, just a line gets crossed out across the across the sentence.
I'll take that as a no.
And as for if there's any way, Interesting question. um, that question is left blank. You don't seem to get any sort of response in the book.
Fair enough.
All right. Trying to avoid them seeing everything we're doing, because there's nothing but disadvantage for them to know where we are, who we're with, and what we have at our disposal.
For one, they already do. Uh, the only way to close it is the magic circle, which only closes it temporarily, and for anything that happens inside it, the moment they're out, everything that happens they can just tap into. Like, the only way to truly close it is to, you know, let them go. The problem is, we don't exactly have the numbers to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a small thing that they're friends, but, you know, that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
And that can't be cast on an object. It has to be a place, correct?
Yes, and it has a very short duration. So it's not like I can... I mean, I technically could. And I could last for an hour. I can sleep for half an hour. I won't keep it on permanently, technically, but like... Yeah. It's not exactly doable.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm all out of ideas.
I don't think this is an ideas situation.
Yeah, it's something we deal with, unfortunately. I mean, there is one way to close the hive mind. That's to kill the rest of the people in it. You know?
That's a little optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, we either do that or we fail anyways. Not like we have much of a choice.
Yeah.
Gorilla, any ideas?
You see Cirilla kind of has just been observing from a distance, kind of just like, with like this kind of like dull expression on their face, just observing the conversation as they're just like, I need to think on this. And just walks out the door. Those that are proficient in insight can make an insight check if they'd like. Lokir, as Viserys calls out to Cirilla, and your attention is turned to her. There is the expression on her face almost had sort of, there was a sense of like resentment and discomfort almost.
Fair enough.
Like something about that conversation just wasn't sitting right with her.
I'm gonna rest for half an hour because I need my spell slots back, and then I'll go ask her about it.
Okay.
All right, so pushing forward. Go.
uh, yeah, so on that short rest, I'm also gonna spend some hit days because, not fun.
John,
I,
can you do me a favor? Turn up your volume a little bit, please.
I don't know why my microphone has been doing that for the last couple of days. Is it better now?
It's better.
Okay.
I think we are just going to take a long rest, so you guys don't have to worry about because nothing really is going to happen and over the course of your journey up until an hour goes by, Morgan, correct?
Rip.
Rip. What do you all think you would be splitting off to do during this first hour?
I think Kakamero's just gonna sulk.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna go talk to Zarila real quick.
Okay. Viserys, where are you going?
I'm gonna go check on the men and make sure everybody's good.
Okay. Lokir, you are able to replenish your spell slots. How do you think you're just sitting around waiting, or do you think there's like a specific way in which you replenish your spell slots?
Yeah, I'd be in my study, writing things down on my journal.
Okay. Um.
Which happens to be the same book that I ask questions, but it's just in different pages, you know.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you give me a history check real quick?
uh,
Okay. So you are writing in your journal, kind of flipping through pages, taking notes. You flip to a new page, and there is already something on it. A sketch. It almost is kind of, how shall I say? I'm trying to think about how it would be illustrated. There is an illustration of an array of different weapons. All of them of varying sizes and variations. You notice one of them. You can kind of guess what they are, as you recognize one of them. There are 15 of them on this map, on this first page. You recognize one of them as Pluto's Bident, and you can kind of guess that this illustration is of the vestiges. This is the first page. You look at the second page, and you see that one of the items, the second page is kind of blank, save for one of the items that was on the previous page. This item was in the form of a revolver, and in this new page, you see the illustration of this gun being held in the hands of a sort of minotaur, tall and kind of burlesque, with a sort of cowboy aesthetic. As it seems to be holding the revolver and shooting at a much larger figure, towering. The bottom half seems to be made of this seems to be pluming in this gaseous form. The head is balded. It is bald, eyes a very void black. It seems has two arms with massive greatswords in hand, and it seems to be falling. And it seems to be a freeze frame illustration of it falling backwards and potentially dying from the impact from the shot of this Minotaur's weapon. Kind of guessing how this goes, you flip to the next page, and the next illustration is of this similar figure that had just been shot, the larger figure. You see that I can't really describe how the illustration, what the illustration is called. It's like one of those photos with it's like one of those poses of two different people where where they have their backs to each other, and the person in the back is kind of doing this look around thing, and the person in front is striking a pose. The person that was previously shot is in the back, kind of towering over this second figure, kind of looking over its shoulder at the figure in front of it. This
It's like a shadow.
The second figure now in front of the person that had been shot is not the Minotaur. It is strikingly similar to the person now behind it. A large, well-built humanoid, shaven at the head. Its eye is now left blank instead of blotted with black ink. A set of wings sprawled out. Its great swords still in hand, but now a lot more elegant, angelic, as it seems to be striking a very open pose, but with a very similar scowl on its face. And you see this image, and you flip to the next page, and the next set of pages are blank. You flip back over to the illustrations before, and they are gone.
Cool. So if those were illustrations of the vestiges, I mean, don't we know where all the vestiges are? Other than one.
You think you do?
Uh-huh. I see. Can I tell how long ago that was?
No.
I'll do my best to recreate the illustrations of the book. Just so
I will also outside of this session, probably make up the illustrations just so that it makes a lot more sense actually being able to see them. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a couple of the illustrations to the best of my ability anyway.
All right. You kind of sketch them in. You are able to get a very semi-detailed illustration of what they look like.
I'm sure Zerilla will have answers for this. Haha.
All right. Eventually. So you make your way to the, you make your way to, out the door. You are now, have the benefits of a short rest at this point. And you fly off to Cerilla's in the same ship as before. Cerilla is kind of just similarly as you had seen her before, just at her desk, kind of not really doing anything, just staring off into space, contemplating, before giving the smallest of eye movements upward to watch you enter her ship.
Hello. Sorry for the intrusion and you being stuck with us. You know. But I have a couple of questions, if you wouldn't mind. So I was taking notes in my journal, and as I was, some illustrations popped up. And I believe it's of the vestiges, but as far as I know, we have all of them, or we at least know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But those illustrations mean that either we don't have all of them, and there exists some that we don't know of, or maybe it's from the past, and you might know if it's from the past. And I'm gonna show her the illustrations.
How many do you think there are?
15?
See,
Question mark?
she looks and you see that she looks at the illustration. She says, "Yeah, there are 15 vestiges.
Mm-hmm.
You have one of them. Sutton has the other. 10 are in the possession of the Cerdonia. One of them is now in Zeus's hand. And I thought you knew where the others were. I wasn't informed where the others were.
There were 13 actually.
Oh, so you thought there were 13. Fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
Okay.
turns out we are missing 2. If you know,
Right.
since everything was going so well, yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't happen to know any of those 2 figures, would you?
One, but my sources say that he's dead. So, it's not. My
Yeah, he was
sources
killed
were
by the
pretty
other
damn
person.
recent.
Yeah.
It's not Pluto. It's not Pluto. There was a.
No. My point is the Minotaur killed the angelic looking person. So the one holder of the vestige killed the other holder of the vestige.
Is he holding a vestige?
They're both.
You see that the figure isn't holding any sort. any of the vestiges that were shown on the first page, but he's just
It was behind of the person that was. Like
they
the-
just
the
look
sa-
fancy, but they're not. They don't seem to have any sort of resemblance to the vestiges.
Okay. Yeah, then that's highly unfortunate. And here I thought that we had an out, but of course we don't. Why would we? Why would anything be fucking easy?
I can certainly see if I can investigate because the person that I was aware of was a person in Beator, the big, he was a renowned gunslinger, human, not this Minotaur, but from my sources that I had sent out originally to find this person, they found him dead.
Okay, so the Minotaur got the vestige from the person you knew then. Probably.
Probably
And that's in Beatrice.
Beator, yes.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, no, that's... Why would it be close, you know? That'd be... Again, too easy for our liking. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I just came to tell you about the two vestiges that apparently we don't have.
No, wait.
I'll go...
Wait. She's like thinking, contemplate. You see her like contemplating, like in deep thought as she's like, wait. No. So good news, it's not in Beator because shit. I fucking saw it. Ugh. Okay. So good news, not in Beator. In fact, in our hands. Bad news. It was in the hands of a person that was sent on a quest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I know where this is going.
The
Yep,
quest that Akamera was given.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. that's great. It's in Demon Land.
It was in the. It wasn't even in the hands of this. I don't know who this. I didn't recognize this Minotaur. It was in the hands of this like plasmoid in a scuba diving suit. I can't even. But at the very least, it's not in any. It's in danger, but it's not in stupid danger, as I will say.
Yeah, it's only in a.
It's only in the heart of Abyssalisk territory.
I mean, granted, the weapons were made to kill demons, so
Yes, they were, but that doesn't mean that the person that doesn't mean the person wielding the gun can not die.
I mean, sure, but one would hope that, you know, the way they got it was by being good enough to wield it, right? Again, I
hope
say
so.
that, but I was gifted mine on. Anyway.
Why are you
it's
here, Loki?
fine.
What is this? What is this illustration?
No, that's what I wanted to. Also, what are the chances of us winning without the syndicate on our side?
What are the chances? I don't know. Loki, I have not seen the syndicate in action. My only recollection, my only knowledge of their previous combat history is Salos, which is the Scylla fight. If Pluto is able to return, then that would definitely give it some good graces. But I can't tell you. I don't know. They have Charybdis, which is surprising, but
It didn't seem particularly strong. Granted, it was wounded, but
yeah, I don't blame them.
yeah. Anyway, I yeah, just wanted to check about the messages mostly. Yeah. Just I don't know. Maybe I don't know if you have scouts or maybe tell them Farina Council about it. I don't know. Just maybe find some way to locate the other one. Yeah.
I will certainly try. I don't know really where to start because because we know one of the vestiges is in Abyssalus right now. The rest are accounted for, save for Sutton. So there's one left.
Yeah, and the only thing we have is an illustration of the person wielding it.
No, that is the person wielding it. Your illustration. The plasmoid with the scuba suit. He's the one currently wielding the gun that this
Yeah,
Minotaur is wielding.
I mean, the other one.
Yeah, the other one. That's what I'm saying. We don't know where that one is, and we don't know where Sutton is.
Yeah. I mean,
Who knows? Maybe Hestia has it, or Rosmoen, whoever is in Rosmoen.
yeah, surely.
Wouldn't that be our luck
No.
that we don't have?
Anyway, I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep now, if you don't mind.
Okay. And you leave. All right. And you return back to Domus, and as you you open the door, you hear and behind you turn around, and Morgan is standing there at the front entrance.
And Morgan is going to reach out and knock on the door next to him. So,
What the fuck?
can I talk to you guys peacefully, or do you want me to fuck back off?
Don't look at me. The series was the one that attacked.
Okay.
I
Can you
literally
ask-
did nothing.
I know you
love
did,
that
and
fucking reaction.
thank
Don't
you
look at
for
me.
not doing anything. I appreciate you not doing anything. Please, could you ask Viserys if he's willing to talk peacefully? And not murder me if I say things he doesn't like.
Everyone is safe. Come on in, please.
Thank you.
Oh, just invite people into my house. It's fine. Everything's
May I come in, Loki?
Yeah, so just don't get blood on my flooding in, please.
Look, here, I hate to say it, but you did literally defer the
Don't look at me.
defer the question.
Ask someone
I don't
else.
know,
How dare you?
I just found out we don't actually have all the messages. It's not a great day. It's actually a pretty bad day. Which for us is, you'd think eventually we'd run out of those, but yeah.
I think they stopped making good days a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, did my carrier not come with you?
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, but I needed to talk to her. Fuck. It's fine.
Well, they
Talk
do
to
they
her later.
bad.
How are we gonna go forward from here?
Same plan as before.
Mm-hmm. And what assurances do I have that you're not going to suddenly decide that I'm the representative of everything you hate and murder me?
Well, because the thing I hate more... Well, this is not my fight. This is Viserys' fight, but... I guess I'll speak on his part.
Just for reference, I haven't done anything, and I don't believe Macario was directly involved in what happened either.
No, Macaria was part of a different plan. And it included, but was not limited to, my lying face down in muck water in a bay while my captain and entire crew were burned alive in a tavern fire. Did you know about that one? That was at the hands of your syndicate and your precious Pluto. Did you know about that, Morgan?
I did not.
And we've glossed on it, but I feel it should be stated outright. The inciting incident that you missed out on the island of Polyphemus was the killing of a dozen innocent men, simply for not wanting to take an impossible fight. They could have been taken prisoner, they chose not to. And while I understand why they didn't, they don't exactly have the manpower to spare. I can also understand why Viserys would find that an unreasonable position.
No, I can understand the anger, and Macaria wasn't exactly tactful when she was saying what she said. My position is, and bearing in mind, I am not saying I'm okay with burning people alive for future reference. However, when it comes to preventing the apocalypse, unfortunately, sometimes there are shit calls that you have to make. Otherwise, you are essentially condemning every man, woman, and child in the world to death. And that is considerably more innocent than 10 people.
What's stopping it at 10? When does that 10 become 100, 1,000, and 10,000? Simply not wanting to conform to the ideals. People don't have choices, according to the syndicate. We ought to play our parts and shut our mouths, or we'll die.
I think you're missing the point. It's not about not wanting to conform, it's about not taking the risk of them giving the syndicate out, which in the end didn't matter, but, they didn't know that. So after that risk is out, it's not a thing anymore, then if the people don't want to join, then cool, they just don't join.
In theory, anyways.
In theory, of course, yeah.
In theory.
And if they break that term, assuming we reach that point, then we can address that. Morgan clearly has no intent of being totalitarian in any way.
No, I literally just want to prevent the apocalypse. That's literally my whole goal, is to stop the demons. Because if it's a choice between a shade of grey or demon, I know that I would choose to not be the demon. I'm sorry, Viserys. It's not that I don't want to do right by everyone. It's just that sometimes it's not possible. I would really like a peaceful resolution. And I'm not just saying that because you could possibly kill me if you really wanted to.
To be clear, no one's killing anyone. That's I can't speak at a rule that you must follow, but I'll say if we have violence here again, I'm shutting it down.
I'm not killing anyone.
look, we just keep moving forward. If the syndicate turns out bad, we deal with it then.
I mean, I'd like to keep a little faith in the colleagues I've worked with for years, but okay, let's start over. Hello, I'm Morgan. I work for the Asphodel Syndicate. I just want to stop the apocalypse, so let's try and get along.
Nice to have it on board.
Thank you. And with that, Morgan's going to revert back to type and try to make peace offering food. It's her love language, so she's trying to make amends as best she can.
Before we do end this conversation, I do have one question that I want to ask Macaria, but you know, I'm gonna ask you since you're the only syndicate member that I have access to.
I can pass
Do
it
you
along.
know if Kamenos or Kidamonas are still alive, and do those names mean anything to you?
I don't. What I will do is I will send Makari a message asking her, and as soon as I know, you'll know.
Fair enough.
Now, food.
Okay. Alright. Morgan goes to start making food. Viserys, you go off to check on your troops, and they all seem very relatively fine. They're not aware of the interaction that had happened with Macaria, and overall are just a little, if they're laxed, if not frustrated, at their lack of able to do literally anything against Charybdis, but overall they are pretty fine. Does anybody else want to do anything, as we will now, before we transition into the rest of the journey?
I guess now's a good time for me and Arya to bite each other a bunch.
Okay. You can certainly do so. So, the rest of the journey. It's gonna be plus 1. Minimum of 2. God damn it. Alright, 2 days. I was saying, there's no way they can cover this amount of travel in 2 days, but I'm gonna give them a minimum of 2. So, you all are about where you are on the map right now, as you all begin what will be a 2 days journey the rest of the way to the village of Rosmoen. How many times do you think you want to, the two of you want to exchange vampiric bites?
2 each a day.
2 each
Or-
a day. Wow. Alright.
That's as much as I can safely do without risking killing someone who's not here.
2 each a day. Alright. That's gonna be 8 times over the course of these 2 days. Whew.
Yep.
That information is too important for me to just gloss over as we'll do that over text. But especially because you're going to Rosmoen. Okay. So, I will leave it up to you. Would you like to know this information? Would you like us to go over this stuff now? Or would you like to do it over text?
We can do like a half and half sort of thing here. I think, real quick, let's put together the list of who we're actually trying to go for. It seems like
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
choice.
I'll say we can, if we're gonna do half and half, I'll say the stuff you want to go over, the 4 things you want to go over, we'll do here, and then the stuff that Arya wants to do, we'll do over text, because Anthony's not here.
So for sure, Pavor.
Okay.
I'm blanking on the name. Who is it that we're going to talk to?
Hestia.
Hestia. Hestia, for sure. Did we check in on Zeus? I don't think we did.
You have not checked in on Zeus. You've checked in on Apollo.
Okay, yeah. I'll do Zeus, because I feel like he's cocky enough to just let it ride.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more good... I'll ask around on the day, not giving, like... I'll say, hey. I'll approach the group, hey. Brainstorm with me. Don't tell me until it's time, though, so they can't, like, not be doing anything that day. So if anyone wants to contribute to this.
Anyone have any specific names they'd like Akamera to look into?
Athena.
Athena.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
That. Yep.
I gotta remember what she's doing right now. Fuck. Wait. 2 of those names. Actually, all 3 of those. I kind of just did. Now I just gotta prep. Now my session prep is just gonna be, what is everyone doing at any point in time all the damn time?
That's why you make one master document that is 800 pages long.
Luckily, I have the thread Operation Hydra Storm, so I know exactly what everyone's doing. Festies. Oh wait, here we go. Okay.
Oh no, my request
That's
for
the
Athena
text
is like,
session.
purely like selfish reasons.
Yeah, we don't have a
Nothing
good list
tactical
of, like,
about it.
we don't have a good list of movers and shakers, so we do have room for some of those. I'll say, and obviously Arya has the actual choice here, but I think if you want Dionysus, that and Ares are both good choices as well.
And I'm down with going with whatever will help us win. But obviously, Morgan has beef with Dionysus.
Why didn't I say Hera? That would have been smart. I could have said Hera.
Yeah. So was Scylla the abomination that the twins saw through before? The one that wanted to kill things? Because I know
I think you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific because there's a lot of those people now.
So
the
when they
person
looked through Hera's eyes before.
Yes. You're not sure.
Ooh.
It doesn't, though. I will say it doesn't really make sense for Hera to be contemplating on this because, I believe somebody would have. I think it would have been Makaria that would have said Scylla didn't really have any correlation with Ilios, leading up to that battle with Salos. It was a partnership that had happened with Zeus, kind of on the way over. Scylla had not really had any correlation with anything going on in Ilios or Aeneas up until that point when Zeus forcefully recruited Scylla. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why. I think I might have actually said one of. All right, so with that, who do you want to start with?
I will start with Pavor.
Pavor. All right. So,
Uh,
what is Pavor doing right now? That's a good question. Pavor. All right. So, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
I would love to do anything but that, but all right.
I believe that's the one we've been using.
I'm gonna listen. My wisdom's not terrible.
Whoa, okay. On a 21 to your wisdom saving throw, you bite into Arya, and the two of you kind of zone out. There is darkness. But then you hear the sound of stone breaking. And eventually your vision is recollects. Not so much like you blink and you're in a new vision, but rather it's almost as if you are in darkness and a wall in this void breaks. Stone flies out in your direction, but you don't seem fazed by it. From this hole in the wall, light shines in. And you see towering in the blinding light is Pavor, your father. He looks around, kind of reaches in and like peers into this seemingly a room as you look around. It's a very empty, barren, it's a very cold stone room. Almost like a cell, like some sort of stone cell with a single door that Pavor seemingly has ignored and just decided to brute force his way in. He looks around in this room. He seems rather annoyed. Like this is a pest. Like this is something he doesn't want to do. Before he walks away. And as he walks away, you look at the surroundings that he from within the hole in the wall. And you see a massive ruined city.
Say again?
You see a massive ruined city.
Who?
And you're not really sure. You've never seen this city before. But as you peer into Pavor's mind, he knows what this is. He's in Titanomachy.
Oh. That's actually.
And peering deeper with this 21, he's looking for Sutton.
Ooh, okay.
As you can see throughout this ruined city, he's not alone. As massive demons and shadows string about, flying through the air, looking from building to building, window to window. They are looking everywhere for this. And you can see there are demons, but there are also Aeonid soldiers. Kind of looking about, kind of similarly searching about, but they don't seem to pay the demons any heed. As they continue to fly about. And Pavor, let me actually roll something real quick. You kind of begin to drift alongside Pavor. It's almost like a third person kind of perspective of him as he walks around, kind of looking at the demons that are also searching about, trying to see if there's any other place that he can find, and he eventually stops. You can't really see where his eyes are looking, but eventually he turns to a door next to him, and he walks in. You drift alongside him. And as he steps into the room, he steps in about a good 10 feet into this large, open house. It looks built for a giant, as Titanomachy must have been. He raises up a hand and makes a small motion with his fingers, and you hear the door behind him slam shut. He looks, and he gives a chuckle. My own kin, how I raised you so poorly. And he turns around and he reaches for your throat. And that's when you are pulled out of your vision.
Hate that. Well then. Bad time.
Alright, that is your first go. Pavor is looking for Sutton within the ruined city of Titanomachy, which I believe is supposed to be Gigantomachy, but I haven't fixed that on the map. I
just assumed that was the right one.
No, at this point it might just be the council of the Gigantomachy council within the city of Titanomachy. Cause fuck me, I guess. I don't know.
It's
verify.
Germany.
Okay. No, it is supposed to be Gigantomachy. I need to fix that.
I was sure that Saturn is there. Didn't we say that it might not be there?
It might not, but it looks like Pavor is not taking that chance of it. Just, probably not.
So essentially, what we figured out here is that I could go kill my dad.
Yeah, and that he's like 5 minutes from it.
Yeah, you could see the
And that's-
proximity. It is like a
very
sail
small.
down the river bend away from Ithaca.
Okay, there's either D&D has one rule: either your dad's already dead or you kill your dad. Those are the rules. Okay. Who do I follow that
honestly,
up with?
it might.
No.
Honestly, if Pavor wants to, he might pose a threat sooner than Zeus would.
He said the name. Let's follow up with Zeus.
Okay. Fuck. Cause I don't know if you've paid attention, but we are 2 sessions into the Battle of Salos, and I genuinely don't know how that's gonna end. I genuinely don't know how that's gonna end. But we'll give
You
it a
think Zeus is
shot
gonna
anyway.
die, right?
Yeah, totally, sure. I totally expect that to happen. I just don't know whether I don't expect Zeus to die. I don't know if Scylla is going to survive though. Because if Scylla survives, he's bringing that bitch with him.
Well, this is all good.
All good things, all good things. Alright. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Let's see another 21. Hey, I'll take it.
19. A 19. Still pretty good. After a small break, and after Arya also does the same thing, but that we will get to later, you sink into your memories again. And you see, and you are currently looking at you want to look at the current events of what's going on with Zeus, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You zone out. And you can hear the distant, you hear echoing conflict, sounds of dragons and of soldiers shouting out commands, metal clashing with metal. They are very distant memories. They are very distant sounds. And you can hear some that are very distant, but some that are very close. The sounds of crackling lightning, for one, would sound extremely close. But still, you see nothing. Until you eventually hear someone call out, "My king," and you start to see visuals and they come to you as if you have opened your eyes. You can kind of guess that from what you had just seen was him recollecting, possibly reminiscing on the Battle of Salos that had just happened. You see from his eyes sitting on a throne, but not the throne of Ithaca.
Thank God.
You recognize this as the Aeneid capital Virgil.
That's not much better.
As he seems to have made a semi-pit stop. Which is a little confusing, because he went to Salos with Iliad soldiers. Regardless, you see a simple soldier about 30 feet away from him. His throne towering over top in this room. Very similar to his throne in Ithaca. But there's a lot more of a Gothic aesthetic that makes up this palace. But you are familiar with this because Aeneas is your original home. Specifically, Virgil would have been your original home city. So this throne room is quite eerily familiar to you. The soldier says, "I am a bit confused as to, if I may, I am a bit confused as to our plan of action. Would we not wish to take advantage of the absence of the Olympians and strike on Ithaca?" You see a hand raises up as he simply seems to wave off this soldier's thought as he says, "Now is not the time for siege. If this Trojan lands in, if this Trojan is discovered, then these simple territories will no longer matter. I will leave you in the stead of that's their person. That's the person. I will leave you in the stead of Counselor Diana, as I leave for more pressing matters." And you see at this point he has stood up from his throne and is making his leave from the throne room. You see him make a turn to a balcony, leaving behind the soldier that had just spoken to him. And he opens the door to look on as he sees the harbor of Virgil, about 2 miles away from the capital. But even still, you are able to see towering above the harbor is this massive dark red Dracohydra. The 10 heads sprouting from the stem of this massive base, towering a good 80 feet above the sea level. The sea level of which you can only see peeking out is the heads alone. Scylla doesn't seem to be conscious. They just seem to be simmering, staring into space as their eyes are a void black. You can see black mucus building up around the rim of their mouth as they just seem to be breathing almost unnaturally. They don't seem to be present in the moment, as they seem to just be staring and breathing and waiting. I'm gonna make a roll real quick. Okay. And as he stares out at Scylla, he blinks again. And you find yourself back in your original setting. Not really thrusted out this time. He doesn't seem to have even noticed your presence.
Interesting. Can I make an insight check to figure out why that is? Or something else that isn't insight?
You could probably deduce that there is a sort of above table, as you are rolling saves to reach into their mind, they are similarly trying to contest their roll not to see whether or not they can resist your viewing of their memories, but rather to see if they can notice it. Pavor seemed to have succeeded, beating your 21, but Zeus seemed to have failed and rolled low, not beating your 19.
So below table, could I infer that some people are more susceptible to this, or is that still a stretch?
Somewhat a stretch, okay. It's a little interesting that Pavor was able to notice, but Zeus was not. But
It reads, but I need more data.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You also recognize the name Diana. So I believe
Yes.
that was the correct name to use. That is one of the counselors of the Aenis. That is Athena.
Yup. Wait.
I believe.
I thought Diana was Artemis.
Then I must have gotten that wrong. You would have heard the Roman.
I could.
The. Oh, fuck. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
Diana.
You would have heard Minerva.
Minerva, that's it. Okay. Okay.
So it seems that Athena is currently in Virgil, tending to the people of Aenis, while Jupiter now seems to be making his leave from the capital.
Do I have any ability to tapping into his memory know what he's going to do next? Like, is he heading to Ithaca?
On a 19, you could probably guess that he is planning on taking Scylla. Not really leaving with any of his soldiers, as it seems that his Iliad soldiers had all died. But it seems that Zeus is taking Scylla and is going to be making his way over to Ithaca.
Okay. That's awful. I hate that. I will.
I apologize
after-
that this has turned into just an Akamero session. If
This
if
really
there
was
is
supposed to
something
be a
you all
two-
want to do after, if there is some, we will take a. If there is anything you all want to do, we will take a pause in between days.
That's-
If the
I should also
Morgan,
have
you were
one-
able to. Morgan contacting Macaria, you are told that the name Kamenos doesn't really seem to mean anything. But the itinerary for what seems to be the itinerary for the Battle of Salos did have a name listed, Captain Kinemonas. But she
I
is
will
not
pass
aware,
that on to Loki.
But she is not aware of what had happened, of her current situation after the battle.
Okay, I will let Loki know.
Okay. Lokir, is there anything you'd
Ow.
like to do with that information or in general?
Okay, so they came onto the ship I was on to get my former captain to recruit her to their cause, and now she's probably dead. No, that's
Well, so they recruited her they were trying to recruit her for the Asphodel Syndicate, but she
Yeah.
seems to have been not a part of the Asphodel Syndicate. She seems to have been a part of something else, that of a extra party that was brought along for the fight in Salos, as there were not just the Asphodel Syndicate, but there were tons of different people.
She just happens to be there, but she isn't part of the syndicate. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm happy with that information.
Out of above board, again, I'm like 2 sessions into the battle of Salos. She's still alive.
Yeah, I know.
She's
I
still
saw
alive.
that.
I just genuinely don't know if she's gonna survive, because there are probably gonna be a lot of people that died. I had an important character, that was called Lord Gilgamesh, to put into reference the sort of initiative that was made to summon everybody for this fight was called the Gilgamesh Assembly. He died. He was the first to go, absolutely ripped to shreds by Scylla because he dove headfirst with his black dragon towards Scylla. Wasn't able to do anything before Scylla had their initiative, and used all 10 of their attacks to rip him a new one.
Checks out.
Yeah,
Him and his
did
dragon.
see that.
Because Hydras
Someone
have
from
the
Group
busted mechanic that every single one that their multi-attack feature allows them to attack for every single head that they have. So every single turn, Scylla was making 10 separate attacks and took out the black dragon that he was riding and also him. And he had and both of them had 108 and then 130 HP. Gone. And
so it's
so
Comes back with like one bite. It's fair enough.
yeah. But yeah. So Kinemonis is alive. You aren't sure if she you're not sure if she's still alive. You know that she survived the last encounter you had with them. But you're not sure where she is right now. And you're not sure if Kimenos is alive still.
It's fine. Since it has to survive that, and then I'll get to ask her. Haha.
I'll let you know something above board after this session, but yeah, so with that said, is there anything else that Morgan, Lokir, or Viserys want to do before we go back to the rest of what Akamaro's doing, or?
I actually want to approach Viserys real quick. Is he on the mouse or?
Where do you think Viserys would be?
Or say it again.
Where do you think Viserys would be during this journey back? Do you think he would be on Domus, or do you think he would be with his crew?
Yeah, he's telling the truth to the entire crew about what happened on Domus,
Ooh,
and
okay.
letting the lieutenants know, that the majority of the syndicate is crushed, and yeah.
Okay. Who? I'm gonna need an insight check on their morale. Okay. So on an 11. Even with an 11, which is still a pretty base roll, a pretty standard roll, but it's still not great. You can tell that they're not having the best, they're not having the greatest time with all of this. They see, you have, though it may not be your fault, being the captain, you seemingly have been stringing them along on this wild goose chase to try to make things better. And it so far hasn't really procured a lot. And you can tell there is an aura of distaste and there's not a great lot of morale amongst the group. But they still nod their head, give you the thumbs up. with all the information that you have provided. And with that, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Morgan's gonna sort of think, who else would have the best tactical advantage to look through that? Because she really does want to look at Dionysus, but she's like, no, we need to win.
I think. Hold on. I do want to real quick. Possibly retool. Talking to Athena. I'll talk to Oak here real quick. I'll hunt you down wherever you are.
I believe he did say like this would be him asking you to look into Athena would be a in the moment kind of thing. So he would be telling you about going to Athena, about seeing Athena, and you already have seen Zeus.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to retool it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think probably given what we've learned, it's a good idea to just like have a quick debrief with everyone, given that what I've learned.
Yeah, you're able to consult with the group and tell them since you already know, and they seem to, and the hive mind pretty much already knows that you know about this stuff.
So, with your permission, Loki, I'll use our limited ability to not die while biting each other somewhere else. Unless there's something specific you're looking for.
No. Just want to know where it stays.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, now that we know that it's
Cool. I have something I'm hoping Arya can test, because I didn't think to do it, but I'll slot in Dionysus.
Okay, interesting. No, actually, no. Pluto is. I need to preface this. I think it's been. I think you would all know because it's been said. Pluto is not a demon.
Yeah.
He is not.
Oh no, I'm
he
saying
is
if
not
he's
a
been
demon of
assimilated
abyssal.
yet.
He cannot. He's. That's true.
Because
If you
he's
want to
dead.
if you want to test if he's been assimilated yet.
Don't worry, I didn't forget my law.
It's not.
No. I would never.
I'm going to just assume that that's not the case, because if it is, what's the point?
If we encounter him in the future, it might be worth saving a bite for that. Just so you can be like, is this really Pluto? Or are we being fucked with?
I think if we face Pluto, it doesn't matter if we know. He's just he had his pet annihilate 10 people right in front of us, and we're not like 100 times stronger than those 10 people. So
I will also
truly
say, Morgan, having
Mm-hmm.
gone back to Makaria, you were able to get the kind of rundown. Sefik, still alive. Karan,
Hey!
and his dragon Styx are dead.
Rip.
Thanatos and his dragon, Kyries, are also dead.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Viserys would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Aaron, and who was the last one?
Thanatos and Kyries, the people that had killed your crew.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe that's all the people that actually contributed to that you haven't. Yeah, Makaria contributed. Cerberus, Charybdis, Charon, Thanatos, Sefik, and I think that's everyone. Everyone else that everyone else that is either a part of the syndicate or everyone else that was a part of the syndicate are either still alive, and or we're able to either escape the battle, or we just didn't contribute to that.
We could pull victory out of the hat still, possibly, maybe. Trying not to feel too upset over the big losses.
I can't remember who else is a part of that. Let me look.
Who else is dead?
Now I gotta make every time I confirm something, now I gotta just like write it down, like, now they have to die. Because I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong about that. Because all of those people still very alive. In fact, haven't been able to do anything because the last 2 sessions have been a lot of flying towards the actual battle.
I dash, bounce action dash, X, and surge dash.
All of them have
Not
been
even
moving at 160 feet per round.
Mhm.
And,
Per second.
it took all of first session to actually start something, for something to actually get started, and all of second session, and Karan is still not in any conflict right now. He's still flying, and so is Kiri's. Kiri's just made it to one of the galleons.
So technically, we know the future.
Yeah, kinda.
Quick,
Yeah,
open
you
messages.
know the future, and I just have to make sure that future is actually concrete.
I have to real quick message everyone in those groups and say, "Protect Garon with your lives."
Yeah, basically us.
If
knowing
we
the
break
future,
the timeline, then we save the world.
If I go back in time and I slap myself in the face.
If we go back in time and alter the future and alter the past, we can save everyone.
The changes, they ripple out.
I will definitely, if something does get changed, I won't adamantly be seeking out the death of Thanatos and Karan. So if they do end up living, which I probably don't think so, because they're either going, because I don't imagine them being ones to retreat from a conflict like this.
I think Garon's very willing to die at a moment's notice.
Sefik leaving would definitely be out of cowardice. Of just like, this is a fucked cause, and leave.
Yeah. He would call it being sensible.
Yeah. Makaria would probably leave after Charybdis retreats. Because Makaria was like, well, that was my biggest deal. That was my biggest card I can dish out, and that failed. Bye-bye. But again, that's to say that Charybdis even... I genuinely do think that this is going to be... that this is a lost cause, because fucking... Anyways, I'm sidetracked. Talking about shit that's not group 4. Okay, anyways. So, with the information provided, with the information so far, does anyone want to do anything before we get back? So confirmed, we want to check in on Dionysus.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Now,
you.
do you want to check in on
You're a good
Dionysus first, or would you like to check in on... Who was the other person?
I think Hestia, I will do last, just to have the most recent tick of like what's going on when we get there.
Okay. With that, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Real quick, I will ask Morgan, do you want the live feed, or do we just want to check on something that already happened?
The live feed. I think looking at the past will only make me more angry.
That's quite understandable. All right. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to bite my sister. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
joy.
no.
So,
Can Morgan
to
give me the help
clarify,
action
this
with
is
the-
To clarify, you are checking in on Dionysus.
Yep. Can Morgan
Okay.
give me the help action with a baked good? Maybe he's drunk and he rolls a 2.
You never know.
Does
Does
guidance
Morgan
work?
shaking her fist count as the help action?
Does guidance work on those checks?
I mean, it's a save.
Oh, ability
Alright.
check of its choice.
So,
That was a no.
with an 11 on your wisdom saving throw, you zone in. I want to do a funny, but I feel like it's a little I don't know how funny it actually would be.
He's baking cookies, and he has a recipe card that says the egalitarian family recipe.
let me just so thinking back on as you are contemplating, like thinking about going with Dionysus, going to see what Dionysus is doing at the moment. You think back to the war council that Lokir was a part of, what he had said. You actually realize in that moment of biting into Arya and zoning out to try to find where Dionysus is, you actually realize Dionysus was never a part of that conversation. Dionysus' name was never brought up.
But he is amongst their ranks. I know, like.
Mm-hmm. He is there.
Yeah.
Which means that there is only there are 2 possible places he can be. And how should I say this? I really want to do a funny, but I don't think it's funny. God damn it.
Gotta commit.
I gotta commit. You zone in on you try to sink into where Dionysus is and where his memories are, and you realize he is still in Ithaca. He is currently in you find him in his abode of the sort of why am I blanking on the word? The sort of area that makes up his domain within Ithaca, called the Diagon Vineyard. And you immediately look in, realize where you are, and are like, nope, as you kind of back out and you look into his memories, look into his perspective, and find him in the middle of some coitus within his personal abode.
Insult to injury. How dare he be enjoying himself?
He is not doing a goddamn thing, except for what he is, except for relishing in his Diagon Vineyard and the people within. as you as you as you kind of as you release Arya, and the two of you kind of fall back in reaction like you need to bleach your eyes.
At least he wasn't a dolphin this time.
He was a bear. Okay.
God dang it!
She's just sort of sat there now with foam
You
coming
now
out of her mouth.
multi-class.
She's just so angry.
Yeah. So that's where he is. He's in
No, more-
Ithaca, which is very concerning because you were going
Yeah.
into this with the impression that Hera was the only person there.
Maybe if we time this right, he'll be asleep.
Yeah, maybe he'll be passed out, drunk.
All right.
That's his thing, isn't
With
it?
this in mind, with that, he also didn't. It's really hilarious that you were like, he's gonna roll like a 2. He rolled a 3. So he didn't fucking pay attention, and honestly, he probably didn't want to.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. He wouldn't care. He'd be fine with it.
You wouldn't care. You wouldn't care. So yeah, that was your look into what Dionysus is doing.
That was productive.
It was kinda.
Kinda.
Kinda. All right. So, last but not least, at least until Arya goes to do their thing, Hestia. Unless you'd like to change that.
No, that's the most important one.
Okay.
That one has to happen.
All right. With that, I will ask for a Wisdom saving throw.
This is the one I need a nat 20 on. Actually, no. She might not be happy about it, but like it's fine. We can make this. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Okay. I will also like to preface: she doesn't know you're coming.
True, but like this is an understandable thing. I think it's not. I'd be mad about it, but like,
Mhm.
you know, if we're approaching friendly, I think that's okay.
Okay. You sink back. You sink your teeth into Arya, and your vision darkens. As you find yourself in the void, almost like when you had looked into what Zeus was doing. You can hear the distant ambiance of what sounds like a volcano. Along with the mixture of these sounds, you can hear the murmurs of all sorts of different people. They seem all distant, but you seem to be able to understand what they are all saying. And you hear, as all of these different voices, kind of the chaos amongst this voice, you can, amongst all of these voices, along with the ambiance of this volcano, one voice seems to be very present in the moment. Present in all of these moments, seemingly talking to every single person, that is seemingly having a conversation with every single voice going, that you can hear. Until suddenly you hear that voice that's speaking to all of these people. Silence. And all at once, her voice goes, her voice says, "Wait. What is..." And you hear what sounds like crumbling stone. Mind you, that was said by seemingly 9 different instances of that same voice at the same time. But then as the stone as you hear the vast array of stone crumbling to the floor, you hear that voice again. Singular this time. Directly behind you as they say, "Can I help you?"
Behind me in my physical space?
Yes.
Or in the vision?
In the vision.
Okay. Do I have the ability to respond?
Yes. You find yourself being able to move within this space.
Don't like that. Okay. If I die in the game, I die in real life. I'll turn to address her.
You see towering a good 10 feet tall, this massive statue of a woman made out of this molten igneous rock, crackling with cracks and breaks within her stone skin reveal glowing magma riddled throughout.
Sick.
Giant pluming hair kind of drops down to either side, and it is seeming glowing with this fiery hot, like the rock that makes up her hair is like 1,000,000 degrees. Her eyes look at you with this kind of swirl of void black and magma. As she looks down on you, towering over top of you, as she says, "Can I help you?"
Forgive the intrusion, and may I say, this is a marvelous display of power. I simply wanted to assess whether or not it was safe for us to land and attempt to engage in discussion with you.
Who are you?
My name is Akamero, and I am representative of... He takes a moment to pause, wondering, like, what... That is actually a really good question. I don't think... We're no longer...
Are you with the refugees?
No. We come with a sizable force. We are hoping you will assist us in bringing a siege upon Ithaca.
And why might I do that?
We believe
The silence.
that you, amongst with everyone else here in your home, do not wish to engage with the plans set aside by those demons above us. Is that
Are you
true?
familiar with Rosmoen?
Not as well as I should be.
Rosmoen has been a part of my city. I am its guardian. And Rosmoen has been turned into a safe haven for demons. Specifically, a safe haven away from this conflict that you speak of.
Yes.
We have been left alone by the Ilios, by the Aenis, however intertwined they may be. And these demons that inhabit this village come here with hopes to simply excise themselves from a conflict that they would not wish to participate in.
and I understand, and I do not wish to disrupt that. All I ask today is that we may have a safe landing to discuss this with people who are better speakers than I. I'll not try to convince you right now. I simply ask that you allow us a moment of your time.
When are you to make landfall?
Uh, over the table.
Estimating,
What, like,
you would estimate by later in the evening of today. Like
Yeah.
this, depending on what time do you think you would be doing this last?
oh, the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one before you make landfall. Unless you think Arya would be the last person.
No, definitely this needs to be the last one.
Okay.
Honestly, I would push this as like as close as like 2 hours.
Okay. 2 hours before your estimated landfall.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tell her 2 hours, as she says. You will stay for the night. And if you wish to try to convince the citizens of Rosmoen to abandon the safe haven, you may do so.
It's very generous.
Now get out of my head. And she flicks your head, and gives a little flick motion with her hand, and you fall, and you almost like forcibly are ripped out of your, away from Arya, as you find yourself back in the setting.
Guys, we're safe, but Hestia is really scary.
He says that to everybody.
Yeah. Just, like nightmare, like you jolt out of bed type, like jump as he escapes the vision. Just no, guys.
Okay. All right. So, this concludes all of Akamero's visions. Now, I will ask. This is the last day before Rosmoen. Is there anything? One last time. Is there anything anyone would like to do during this travel?
Yeah. Viserys gonna go to a quiet chamber and being frustrated with himself for, acting out and letting his temper get the best of him. Still not regretting standing up for what he believes in, but just agrees with everybody without saying that could have been handled better. Goes to a chamber, goes to like the captain's quarters or whatever, and thinking on the encounter we had with the Kraken, the previous encounter with, and was using some unknown abilities. Doesn't really understand what that was, but it felt innate. He's going to sit and meditate. He doesn't really meditate, but is trying to look within to understand if something is there, like where those abilities came from.
Okay. All right. So, I also want to check something real quick. Okay. I don't. Did I tell you about spellcasting abilities with specifically sorcerer?
No.
Okay.
If you have
So
specific.
I will go into more detail about it in the over text, but basically, sorcerers I give sorcerers the homebrew option of sorcerers have a spellcasting ability that their spellcasting ability is their charisma. I give them the option that their spellcasting ability can be tied to their constitution.
Very
So I
cool.
will
Okay.
let you decide that, but whichever one you'd like to choose, I will say go ahead and make a check with that ability score.
Okay.
Either your
All right.
charisma or your constitution, whichever one you'd like to use for magic.
We'll go Constitution.
Okay. Modifier doesn't really change much at all because you have a 14 and a 15, but
Right.
for future reference, for future purposes, that would be. All right, on a 21. You kind of sit in this meditative state. What I want to do. You sit in this meditative state. And you kind of zone out, looking in, as if a monk would harness their ki. You kind of look in to try to find where exactly that all came from. You feel the compulsion to open your eyes. And as you do, for the briefest moment, you see in front of you the silhouette, the glowing, the kind of like copper colored outline of a massive towering dragon sitting in a sitting position, its head kind of bending up and then over to look down to match its eyes with you. You see it staring deep in, almost staring directly into your soul if it could. But you see this figure for the briefest of seconds before it fades immediately, almost like an after image. Like if you close your eyes too hard, you start seeing those like black blotches that soon fade.
Yeah.
It's almost like that as you kind of concentrate and open your eyes, and and this image of a giant what looks to be a giant copper dragon stares back at you before it fades. And I might have gotten that what type of dragon that is wrong. Never. Well, yeah. Yeah, I believe it is copper dragon.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the breath weapon.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you'd like to do?
Um, see. There's a quill, an ink pot on the dresser, on the stand over to the far right wall. And Cyrus puts his hand out, reaching for it, but not moving, as the quill flies to his hand. Starts writing.
Okay. Anything in particular? Or is that a thing you'd like to discuss outside, privately?
I'll mention it if I mention it later. We'll come back to it.
All right. Okay. With that, anything else anyone would like to do?
Morgan's going to write the aforementioned to-do list, but other than that, she's just going to have minor panic attacks.
How have
alright.
how have the my apprentice wizardlings studies been going?
That all depends. Are you training them as you are simultaneously taking time to scry?
I think the scrying only takes like 20 minutes a day, so yeah, I have a lot of free time.
Okay.
It's either I study the books myself or I make other people study them.
Okay. I will say roll an intelligence. I believe we had it was an intelligence check with advantage from the soldiers, as they're the ones actually training.
Cyrus, would you like to do the honors?
Sorry, say again?
Would you like to roll? Akamara was asking if you'd like to roll an intelligence check with advantage for the soldiers that are being trained in the ways of magic.
Oof. I got a 1. Anybody higher?
Well, is it using their stats or mine?
It is using their stats.
Yeah, okay. Which did we say it was a +2 or a +3?
I believe. Let me check.
I want to say it was a +3, but I could just be making that up.
I believe it's a plus. Oh, for them it would be a +3. Yeah, for the
Very
commanders it would be a +3 because they are specifically being taught, because of their innate intelligence. So yes, it would be a +3. Jason, you said you rolled a 1.
No, I have a +1. So.
Oh, a +1. Okay, so no, you are rolling a. So did I give you guys access to the stat sheets?
I don't.
I think we have like the regular guy stat sheet, not the.
Right.
Yeah, we have the infantry militia, not the.
Oh, okay. So
actually, that's not a stat sheet either. That's just a picture.
I will roll with advantage. Both of the these are going to be a +3. They don't have. Actually, I'm just going to give them a +3. Intelligence modifier. That's not the right keyboard. I keep doing shit on my laptop, but wanting to type on my computer keyboard.
Oh my god, Daisy, I'm so sorry. I was not tapped into like the Roll20 to add to your messages.
Okay.
It's
So
cool.
that is a 12. I take this information and do something with it. I will get back to you over text about that.
Very cool.
Because I'm genuinely not really sure what I want to do with that yet. So
Yeah, we have to be very careful with the scaling because it's very possible that they laugh me.
all right. So with that, these soldiers train for the next. You train the soldiers for the next 2 days while simultaneously getting all of these scryings in. Viserys does his meditation. Morgan writes up this list. Is there anything else Morgan wants to do?
She's sort of just agonizing over, oh shit, is there anything else I've forgotten? Oh no, what
You've
if I
checked in with
fuck
you've
this
checked
up?
in with Makaria. You have a like semi head count. And and you have checked in with Makaria about Kinemonas and Kamenos. But also, I'll probably ask later on about the runes, because I believe the runes you're referring to are just the runes that Hephaestus put on them to give them their magical properties. But
We don't know what
so
they
you might
do.
literally just be translating. You might just be translating the descriptions of your magic items. Nevertheless, peace offering.
Just in case, you know, he's put
Lokir,
something
is there
in there
anything
that's
that
like,
you would like to?
if they attack me, stab.
Is there anything, Lokir, you would like to do over the 2-day journey? I feel like I've asked everyone like 5 different times, and they all give me the same answer.
Not really. I don't think there's anything.
Okay. So with that, we come to Rosmoen. You find yourselves, you all, knowing where Rosmoen is specifically on the map, referring to where you guys currently are on the map. You know that the second day is kind of you just going up and around this peninsula, as it seems to be on the inside of this kind of alcove, on this end of the map. But eventually, you all find yourselves just a few miles away from the harbor village of Rosmoen, as I will provide a visual. Eventually. Give me 2 seconds. I can't. Go. And then
That's cool.
as you find this this rather large, from what Viserys had said, it was simply a harbor village. This looks far from it, as the city itself seems to have rapidly expanded over the last several years that's been since Viserys was last here. The buildings and everything around it seems rather dead, but that's mostly just due to the fact that it looks like everything around it, all the buildings, the town itself is built out of the rock material that seems to have coated the surrounding area around this giant volcano that towers over top of this village like a guardian angel. You where might everyone be as you all are at the eve of your arrival?
I feel like someone should be briefing the soldiers that like this is a place full of demons. I don't know how well you've been communicated this.
Oh yeah,
Don't
I
freak
believe
out.
Viserys was informed about. I believe Viserys had informed everyone about the current situation.
Don't freak out. We're going to a place that's scary. Yeah. Well, if that's happened, then I'm in my books.
Okay.
Morgan's gonna remember to give Domus a treat because he did save her butt back in the ocean.
Okay.
He's earned a treat.
Domus
Lokir
has
and
no treat.
Viserys, where might the two of you be as you're approaching Rosmoen?
Yeah,
I'm gonna approach Viserys actually before we land.
Okay.
before we, yeah, okay.
So, there's a small issue that popped in my mind during the whole fiasco on Domus. What happens when we get to Ithaca and we start, indiscriminately killing enemy soldiers that are technically your former allies?
So my idea on this was a parlay with the commanding officers as we entered. We take Domus, we meet with the commanding officers and tell them everything. If they
Uh-huh.
decide to side with us, fantastic. Otherwise, they will let us go back to the ship, and then the battle will ensue.
Uh-huh. And what exactly stops the remaining Pantheon from, smiting us the moment we step foot anywhere near them? Or better yet, the entire military of Ithaca killing us the moment we approach them.
Well, that's what a parlay is. It's
They won't honor it, is my point. We're traitors in their eyes.
I will also point out, even if they agree to the parlay, there are just straight up demons. And also, we have no chance of any initiative in this fight if we don't start aggressive. If we come in with a diplomatic intent, they're going to start raining arrows before our armies even get there.
Yeah, also, if you think Domus is getting anywhere near this conflict, you're very much wrong.
Agreed. We must
what-
protect Domus.
I
Domus
am
is a
fine
reptile.
with dying. No. I'm fine with dying. Domus isn't dying for me. I refuse.
I think Domus will probably like this volcano area. Reptiles like heat.
I'm down to let him chill here for a bit, He's earned it. And if I die, then so be it. I'm sure he'll find, a better life somewhere.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He deserves the best.
He saved me many times. I'm not leading him to his death. Or a very obvious death, anyway.
Agreed. Giant tortoises are better than people.
Domus has no enemies.
No, everyone knows Domus.
No, he does have quite a few.
By the way, you guys are having this conversation on Domus, correct? Just
Yep.
so that I'm aware. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
No, Domus. I know he's listening. He isn't given it.
No,
Domus isn't
Domus is
following.
kind of just like listening, but he's still kind of like trotting along in the water. You can tell he's very tired.
Oh,
It's the end
You
of the
can have a
day.
big
He's
nap.
been He's been sailing for like the last 3 days. Actually, 4. I think. I think it would be 4. Anyways.
Maybe the neutral demons will adopt him.
Okay, let's not get there yet. I'm still alive.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying if we don't come back, maybe they'll look after him. He deserves to be pampered and loved.
That he does. Yeah, but back to the issue. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, Viserys, but I mean, you're supposed to be a soldier. This is war. There will be no parlaying. It will be a first strike. We're going to go in and we're going to start attacking people on our way to the throne room.
Okay.
Are
You
you
have to
fine
twist my
with
arm
that?
about it. I was trying to go by the rules of engagement, but if everybody would just wants to throw hell at them, go for it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you're fine with that because rules of engagement were thrown out the fucking window several decades ago. We were the only ones following it.
Yeah. It seems like you guys have honor, and then everyone else is out there committing war crimes on the daily.
No, you see, I had the honor until I learned that the council I was fighting for didn't fucking exist.
So, is it that because they're not currently with us, those soldiers there have no honor? Or we're not
No,
taking
no,
the
no,
chance to give them the chance to make a decision for themselves and
Look.
join us? Or
I was one of those soldiers. And if I was there 6 years ago, not knowing what I do now, I wouldn't fucking believe you. I would just attack you on sight because those were my orders.
But yeah, just to clarify, I don't think the rank and file are without honor. I think the people at the top are without honor.
Yeah.
Honor, like it's not a matter of honor, it's a matter of orders. And if you're a good soldier, which they probably are, they're not gonna believe you over, like, it's their families we're talking about. Even if they want to believe you, we are kind of invading their home.
okay.
This sucks.
The best.
There's going to be,
This
there's
is
going to be
Morgan's
quite a bit of
hometown
collateral.
too. So it's like Morgan wants to send an evacuation order. Whether they follow it is up to them. But at the same time, she understands that it's not a tactically good idea.
I think an evacuation order might actually be the best play. Like,
Yeah.
while we're on the approach, we can have like people on the wings casting thaumaturgy saying, "Get out of here! This is not your fight." And then we can try to prioritize not soldiers where possible. Make the fight hopeless while killing as few of them as possible.
If the odds were like immensely in our favor, I'd be down for that. But like our chances of success are fucked.
If we're not sacrificing any of our military output, we can make measures to dissuade them from fighting, and that will help us. The issue is if we're sacrificing our military output, but I think having an evacuation order as we approach will not harm our ability to make this fight happen.
That I agree with. Going out of our way to not kill enemy soldiers, I don't agree with.
I'm saying we prioritize the ones that we're more comfortable killing, I'm not saying we don't where necessary. I'm just saying let's not, if we can avoid it, we will. We reserve the right to do so.
Yeah. If we can give them the option of retreat. But that would be preferable if they would just see the writing on the wall and run away. Once again, though, these are their families. Ithaca is their home.
Like,
Real
as I
quick,
said,
just have an idea. Cirilla, the
Cirilla is
lying.
not on Domus at the moment.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Hey,
I wonder
Cirilla-
if I wonder if the flying, what are they called? What are the flying things that we have with us?
Sunwings.
The Sunwings. They don't have any kind of speaker system, do they?
No, you have not actually heard them speak. So you wouldn't really be sure, but you can probably guess no.
I mean, we could always ask Cyrilla if she has access to anything that could blast sound out. I mean, there's those giraffe things.
Mm-hmm.
Those are communication devices. Maybe she's got something that works as a megaphone.
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough casters that know thaumaturgy that I think that is actually a viable, like, at least half measure there. I don't know if that's probably not enough for the entire battlefield, but at the very least, that's something.
If we can send it into the bay with a message to alert the people, like an information campaign, to say that that way we're not in danger. We are at least sending out a message that this war is everything that we know that they can know.
They're beating.
Look, I'm down to try anything you guys want, right? I'm just saying, be careful or like be ready for it to not work and for us to have to kill our way to the throne room.
Of course.
Like, be prepared for that.
Yes.
Because there's a very high chance that's going to need to happen.
But if we can dissuade at least a few to lay down their arms, or even better, join us, that is an incredible advantage.
Saris, if you'd like to, before that point, write us up a speech. I feel it's best if we use your words. Likely, many people will be relaying your message, but if you could be the one to write the message to convince them to lay down their arms.
As a matter of fact, I have that right here. Sling.
Beautiful.
Right then.
Well, it'd be a stretch to say I feel good about this, but that's it.
I just need some air a second. This is all getting to me. And Morgan's just gonna walk outside and just,
Okay.
she need a minute.
Go ahead and roll in a perception or investigation check, whichever one you'd prefer.
Who? Oh, sorry.
For Morgan, sorry. Okay. On an 18. And at this point, as Morgan hesitantly makes her way out for some fresh air, everyone who is not Akamero, aka the people who have a higher passive perception than 9, which is Akamero and Arya, but there is, and maybe even Lokir, just because you only see in monochrome, there is a subtle change in the lighting around you. As Morgan leaves, you can see the candlelight, the magical light, whichever one might be lighting up Domus's hut, slowly dim. And Morgan, you go outside to investigate the sound that you had heard. Looking around, trying to see the outer wall. Does your character have dark vision by any chance?
Nope. Very inhuman.
Got it. Okay. So looking around, it is very dark. You would need some extra lighting to be able to actually try to help your investigation a bit. But
I'm gonna light a torch.
no light at all. So I'm gonna have to ask you to re-roll that and see for the lower roll, unless you would prefer to. Oh, you said you light the torch.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were just gonna say nope. I don't got nothing. Okay.
No, Arya gave me some torches. I remembered.
You light a torch, and look around the outside of the, and you light a torch and hold it out. And as you hold it out in front of you to try to look for something, you see a figure clambered on top of the rooftop, tall and lengthy, but hunched over on all fours, clinging to the rooftop of Domus's hut. You see a familiar visual. A Nabasu. Its eyes void black, looking at you. And staring at you as you light this torch and hold it out in front of you. And it looks to you with this, not so much the rabid rage that you had seen from the Nabasu before, but more of a curiosity. But also a very stone cold curiosity. Like it's more trying to give off an intimidating presence.
Does it seem hostile?
It speaks to you.
Mm.
As it simply says, "Why have you come to the hearth of the mother?"
Okay.
And that's where we're gonna session for tonight.
That's good, I think. That's not...
Daddy.
Fun.
Alright. Yeah, there's that guy now.
Yay.
Hopefully it doesn't go the same way as our last interaction with the Nabasu.
This is his visual for those that have forgotten.
Handsome boy.
It's one of those you come out, you sit
Little
and you're like,
handsome
"Oh fuck,
boy."
a demon! Oh yeah, we're in an island of demons."
Oh yeah. This is kind of a placeholder for demons. Alright.
Well, it started with a conversation, which is already better than before.
Yeah.
Oh no! Last time it also had the one-liner before it attacked us, you know.
He totally didn't pick this character for the sheer irony of one of the few demons you have actually encountered, being the person sent to look to come see what you're all about.
We're not triggered at all.
Just no PTSD whatsoever.
Most of us aren't currently. Most of us are unaware this is happening.
Nope.
It's just you and the
Morgan, for some
service.
reason, didn't tell you that this was the thing. I sent Morgan because they had the best passive perception to look for it, except for look here, and he was in the middle of the conversation. I just sent that, and I thought you were gonna do something, alert the group, and then you just went, I'm just gonna get some air.
Yeah, no, Morgan doesn't want to start a panic, so she's going to check it out first. We've already had enough high emotions.
And it's gonna stir some more panic when you find Morgan's corpse.
Nah, Morgan can take the one.
Oh, thank you. Your facing me is very touching.
Let's hope not misplaced.
right. So
I just
yeah.
come crashing through the
That-
wall.
So that is going to be the end of session 23. I named this session Rosmoen because I thought we'd get to Rosmoen. And by the time
And I made you
during the
narrate a
session, but
bunch
nope.
of scenes.
Nope.
And I-
Agamero went, hey, what if I had like 8 premonitions over the course of 2 days? And I was like, fuck.
Very smart choice to have half of them terminate them. Actually, 3 out of 4 of them terminate themselves. Only one did actually get to see like the full run.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah, he kind of rolled not great. He rolled a 6.
honestly, I think, funnily enough, this is like the best varied outcomes here.
Yeah.
I didn't need to roll better for Dionysus. That's fine. Hestia, the conversation was probably for the best. I was there to gauge safety. I confirmed safety. That's pretty cool, I think. Starting to doubt that actually, but who knows?
I mean, if you hadn't done that, this is a refugee village, but it's still a village full of demons who want to keep neutral and don't want enemy parties just moseying on in. So they would have definitely started attacking the ships out of pure defense.
Yeah.
If Hestia hadn't had this conversation, they just sent a Nabasu, because that's a friendly place. They just sent him a Nabasu.
That and I think best of all, confirmed I can kill my dad. That's an important one.
And also, they were intent. And also, you would probably have enough insight into that, or at least be able to pick that up. Hestia doesn't know who you are, or didn't know who you are, which probably entails that they haven't been paying attention to the hive mind whatsoever. They don't know a thing about what's going on. That,
Okay.
or they just specifically haven't been focusing on you two.
That is actually helpful, I think.
I mean, they might do a background check on you now.
Probably.
Let's
Possibly.
hope not.
Well, I think that kind of works in my
Yeah,
favor.
let's see who's coming over to my village. Smite him.
Grandson of Ares.
Smite him. Kill it with fire. My fire of the hearth.
Yeah, and we also went from, there's only Hera there at the moment, haha, to knowing there's at least 3
shit.
of them.
We completely
And
forgot about
probably
this
will
guy.
come in.
Completely forgot about this guy. Yeah. I forgot about Dinos.
So what you're saying is if we had about the name Dionysus, he wouldn't be there.
Well, I had
we wouldn't have to
remembered.
worry about it.
I had kept forgetting that I was going to. I had forgotten in the moment when I told you that Hera was supposedly the only person there. I believe I did. In fact, I did say that Dionysus and Athena wasn't contributing. I believe in the initial meeting that you all had, except for Daisy. Daisy wasn't here at that point. The initial meeting that before the war room meeting that Lokir had said, the initial meeting with all the council members when you had first given them the map, Zeus had said that Dionysus and Athena would stay behind to defend Ilios. So it just seems that they fucked off to Aenis for the time. At least Athena did, and I believe I had just wrote down that Dionysus had just followed along with Athena, using his Bacchus form, and then just came back to the Diagon Vineyard because why not? But yeah.
I'm giving you a warning now. I'm going to spend so much time brainstorming, and Arya is going to have the four most potent spies we can think of.
I will say, because it is Arya doing the scrying, they will have Anthony will be able to decide what they want to look for.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and then if they don't have anything they actually want to look into, then you can provide your guys' secondary opinions. But
I've already messaged about it.
Just for my
Yeah.
knowledge, is there anyone particular you have in mind for Anthony to be looking into?
Let me look through what I've already told him and compare that against what I want to share. Yeah. Yeah, Harrow's the obvious one. One I'm going to keep close to my chest for now.
Ooh, what? Hey!
You can't read my messages. You can't read my messages
I'm the
to
one
Anthony.
giving you
Those
these
are
fucking
private.
premonitions! I am God! You can't hide anything from God!
Other than that, just like other Olympians that we aren't 100% sure if they could be there or not.
Gotcha.
We know the number's 3 now. Let's verify that it's not 4 or 5.
There's probably Zeus coming also, so that's...
Zeus is part of the 3. Right now it's Dionysus.
Yeah, Zeus is on his way, but he made a pit stop at Virgil. So he's gonna be later. So you guys still have more time. That's basically just how I'm explaining how he's still gonna take the same amount of time.
How fast is he? I thought that was like a couple hours journey or something.
What, the journey from Ithaca to Uruk, or the journey from Virgil to Ithaca?
From Virgil to Ithaca, because that was also the day before. So.
Well, Virgil is like. I changed the location when I'm looking at Incarnate now, which is also where I made the world map.
Nice.
And I guess I did make the changes. I just never put the new image on the map. I just never updated the map on Roll20. That's weird. But it was a pretty actually, if I'll do a look, because I did actually make it less than 2 days to get to, which is what the original number was from Ithaca to Salos. If I look on the calendar, it was probably like a couple days, because he added on the pit stop to the Amathion Islands, which is where Scylla was.
Okay.
Let me verify. Okay, so he left. I still gave him that 1 day prep time. The session 7, What Have You Done, which was the day cleverly named What Have You Done, was the 17th, and he's attacking Salos on the 23rd. So it was 6 days. From prep time to Amathion Mines to Salos. And now it's been another week, and he's only now making his journey from Virgil to Ithaca.
Okay, but like if I had the vision of him being in Virgil yesterday, and presumably we're not at the same day, so presumably it'll be at least 2 days later from that vision. He'll have had time to get to Ithaca.
I have to check the stream, because I think I did make it. I did. For some reason, I wrote down a definitive. I rolled the dice for the definitive number, and then I forgot the number. I think I did say. So it's the. Fuck. So right now, the last session was the 29th. 2 additional days. You are currently on the You are currently on the 31st day. And that would have been. It is now officially a week after the attack on Salos. So I'm just gonna, because I was stupid enough not to record the original number. Let me just. Okay, that makes the most sense, I think. Okay, so right now it is the 31st of. It is the sunset of the 31st. Zeus is making his leave right now. Zeus made his departure on the 30th, and I'll say with the high roll that you had made, I think it was the 21 or the 19. It was the 19 on Zeus. The 19, you could probably the time of his arrival back to Ithaca will be the 33rd of. So you have 2 more days.
What's the calendar?
It is 64 days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 8 weeks of 8-day weeks.
Very cool.
I had a whole fucking thread in the lore of the history. How dare.
I will skim a map. As looking through a calendar, I think, is a fully a thing my brain will not retain.
Basically, the calendar was designed by a bunch of tortoises. When they discovered that the moon cycles are 8 days, were 8-day cycles. So it was like from new moon to new moon again, it was 8 days. So they just built a calendar around the 8 days in a week, 8 weeks in a month, 8 months in a year, I believe it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 months in a year. And that's what I'm also I also tried implementing the 64 hours calendar, the 64-hour clock, but that straight up just didn't work.
Yeah. I get to long rest 3 times a day.
They would definitely be shortened hours. Like it wouldn't, like the half hour short rest would definitely be like, I don't know, like 4 hours. Because it's still because I tried making it more confusing on myself by basically just being like, oh, it's still like the same general 24-hour time. It's just like they just split up. They made the seconds and the minutes and the hours a lot faster to accommodate for 64 hours in a day. That just straight up didn't work.
No.
I'd
have a stroke trying to retool all the durations of my longer spells.
All right.
I should prepare spells. That's a good choice.
So yeah. I will. So, one thing I also will say. I did want to say it. There was 2 things now because I remembered the other thing I wanted to say. So Logue here. So John, the reason there's a lot of like important names from your crew. There's Kinemonas, who is an NPC, but a lot of the other people that were there that were there in that session 0. They were NPCs, but the characters that themselves were player characters. One of them was Kamenos. There was a guy named Malzano, I believe. I believe that was his original name. There's a lot of people a lot of the people there were player characters, but the reason I was playing them as NPCs was because their characters have the backstory of, oh, I lost my memory, I have no idea how I'm a Simic hybrid right now. Pretty much all of those player characters are gone. Like, the players that were playing them are gone. So I genuinely don't think I'm going to explore Kamenos much of any more unless he comes back in a backstory. Kinemonas is definitely going to be an important person still.
In my mind, like, as a player, everyone there is dead, right?
Yeah.
And like, as far as Lokiru, because Lokiru did spend some time in Silva actually searching for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Kamenos canonically is still alive. He was a part of he was a part of Group 2, and he was and the experimentations that he had gone through turned him into a Simic hybrid. And technically he's still alive. He's in Beator. But he kind of I explained him like rejoining a group of NPCs that were part of his backstory as like a way to wave him away, like he's no longer a part of the group because his player kind of just left. Same thing with a couple of people, like you were a part of the original Group 5 who are all just gone now.
Yeah.
Malzano was another person. He was a part of Group 1. The experimentations just turned him into a fucked up, like almost something straight out of Elden Ring, into like a fucked up Dragonborn. He left the group along with all the other Group 1. So a lot of stuff. Literally, Kidamonis is probably the only other person that's actually going to be explored from your crew, unless you count Alophus.
No.
But yeah. Also, the book, the pages you had seen, there was some misinterpretations of some things, and I feel like I should clarify those because I feel like the visuals would make it a lot easier.
So there's only one vestige in those pages, right?
So there are 15 vestiges, and what the Raven Queen was trying to show you was that one of the vestiges was used to kill a demon, and that demon then turned into an angel.
Uh-huh. Fair enough. But we still don't know where that is.
You don't know where that one vestige is. That
We're going to have Loki giving thoughtful glances to his own vestige now.
But if the one vestige was able to do it,
yeah, isn't the vestige turn the demons? Oh, no, I got it now. It took a bit. No, it took me a second. Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Somehow I don't think Arya will go along with it.
There was some fucking German music.
I was like, okay, yeah,
Toaster ding sound.
Slowly, it was slowly connecting the dots, Oh yeah, the vestige turned the demon to an angel. Oh, I can probably turn other demons into angels. Oh yeah, we have 2 fucking demons.
That was I believe that was the whole reason you asked that question. If it was a way.
Yeah, no, it was, but like, to me those were like two separate things, you know, like I never fucking connected it. Ah, fuck.
So basically, now that all the pieces are put together, the Raven Queen was basically telling you that the way to potentially sever the connection with the demons is to make Akamaro and Arya no longer a demon in the first place.
Uh-huh.
We need to purify them with Eldritch Blast.
No, no.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Wow, I didn't know Morgan was racist.
I mean, look, if you have a
I joke,
resurrection
I
spell,
joke.
if you have a resurrection spell, I'm down to purify them with Eldritch Blast. Yeah, but we won't tell them that this will turn them from demons into angels. It'll be like, yeah, can I test something for a second?
So if we kill an Olympian with a vestige, does that mean they'll turn back?
Okay, also, how the fuck do we test it? Do we just fucking kill one of them?
I mean, that was kind of the plan regardless, so...
Yeah, the plan was
No.
the original plan was to kill Hera.
I mean one of you. Do we kill one of you to test it out?
No, we tested on the Olympians, and then if that works, then we can assume it works for us, probably, maybe, I hope.
I mean, we are in an island of demons, right? We're gonna be like, hey, can I
Can I kill you real quick?
Can I kill you?
No. You don't tell them that you're gonna kill them. You're like, yeah, can you come into my ship real quick for a second?
I don't think the words that convinces people to help us is to
That
murder
would just
one of them.
immediately lose all of your trust that you had with anyone in Rosmoen. Hey, can you come in here for a second? And it doesn't work.
Now, I
Olympian
do have a very
just
important
Now, I
question.
do want to
lure them away.
preface. One, I know it. One, I'm a little very concerned because I know exactly what happened, because it did happen. It was a group 2 event. In fact, the group that the people I was talking about with with the vestige the vestige that you saw was the group that took on Akamaro's quest to look for Myra, and you all literally almost intersected and almost joined groups with that group. Just 2 passing cars in the night. But I do want to preface, you are not sure if A, the demon died, or B, if the demon, how exactly the demon came back after being purified, quote unquote.
Good thing
It's
we have an entire island of them to
I want to preface, I also feel horrible because I realized way too late that this like everything going on with the demons and the celestials that are still around turn way too close into Christianity. They're like, this is very, I had this issue with group 2 and where it was just very like,
Jesus an actual character though.
yeah, no, well, okay.
I think we long past that.
not just like the Christian elements within the game, but very much so like, oh, the demons are corrupt, and you need to kill them with radiance to purify their souls, that kind of shit. I realized a little bit way too late that was a little bit too racial, but also like I know that there's like I was originally like, oh, this will create such great like moral gray with like but some of them are just straight up undead, and some people were born like this. We're born this way. And then I was like, fuck. Wait. So, no.
You got predeterminism.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can make things even worse by purifying everyone in this island. Against the will.
Ew.
If you just ignore the moral problems with everything you've said, you haven't said anything wrong. That's how that works.
Oh.
Our heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, even everything we've done is
The
really
worst
not
alternative.
bad, you know? Like one little island.
Since it's on topic right now, I'll ask: is pillage acceptable? Can we pillage Ithaca? I want more spells.
I like how you were like, oh no, we should try to avoid unnecessary killing. Can we pillage
Yes,
them,
dude.
though?
I was literally saying that in
Yeah.
the chat. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? The parallels of Jason just going, the killing of my innocent men were wrong, and now he's going like, we're gonna go in, we're gonna offer them peace, and if they don't accept our way, we're gonna fucking murder.
No, that's why I was like, okay, we need to have this discussion, right? Because we are literally going to kill his men that he's
Yeah,
so
they
bent on defending.
don't know shit. The people that
Yeah.
that Aenid soldier that was talking with the Aenid soldier that was talking with Jupiter was like, hey, so we're still in a war, right? So we should still do war things towards them. And Jupiter's like, no. It's fine. You guys stay here with Minerva. I'm gonna do war things myself. and also the Aenys, Agamero and Arya, and probably Morgan would know this. The Aenys also don't really know how affiliated the Aenys actually are with demons. Like, I prefaced, the demons just weren't, the Aenys were just very, they couldn't see the demons. And you know that, like, that the demons do work magic to make sure that they operate primarily in Aenys, but they use magic to basically make them unseen to the actual Aenys within. They basically...
Were myself and Arya subject to that magic, or is just like quarter demon
You
normal?
were more subject to... The tieflings that were born into the Aenys family were just, like, generally accepted. Like, it wasn't... Like, the origins of your... There are different types of demons. Not all tieflings are demon origin. So
We get the Nepo baby benefit.
yeah, the Nepo baby. You had very Nepo baby privilege, and also just like, even if they were like, hey, those guys are...
Why do our gods
tieflings.
make demon children?
Why did our king did our king man that good old Ilias cursing our good old king to have tiefling children? Shucks.
Everything's their fault.
It's all their fault. They're cursing our kids.
Why would they curse? Why would they curse Ares? Why would they curse Mars like this? That Ares is a scoundrel.
Pavos? Not General Pavos.
Well, that's good.
This is fun. I'm
All right.
having a great time.
I'm gonna go to Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Night.
Let me verify. I think we can. I think it's tomorrow's group that has the scheduling issue. But yeah, we will reconvene on the 11th of October.
Very cool. All right. Y'all have good sleep or anything else.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
So, yeah.
back over to here.